Hello, this is Dr. Kelly Pearson, and we're going to talk about gluten, actually in four parts. And perhaps this may be the hardest issue for many to hear, and people will tell me, oh, it's ridiculous, gluten is just a fad. But I want to tell you there's actually something to this and give you some data to support it. So what actually is gluten? Well, first of all, the word is derived from glue because it really has a sticky component, but it is the protein in wheat. And it's in many grains, but not all grains. And we will distinguish that in just a few minutes. But gluten is actually made up of two proteins, gliadin and glutenins. And in actual fact, the gluten is what we love about flour today because it causes the things we bake to rise. And in America, particularly, we love that. And so many of the food manufacturers are recognizing the more gluten that they provide, the better the food rises. And there's also another sneaky reason they do that we'll get to in later webinars today. But why now all of a sudden you see, instead of a small section of one aisle, you see four aisles for gluten-free? And here's the reason why. Gluten has been bioengineered and hybridized to the degree that there's just more gluten in everything we eat, and the gluten that we're eating today is not the gluten of yesteryear. In fact, it's got a bit more tenacity, and it's, as I mentioned, in absolutely everything that we're eating. On the right, there's many grains here that some do have gluten and some do not, but just to recognize that all grains have gluten is inappropriate, and we'll distinguish why. Now, in my practice, perhaps one of the biggest things I'm seeing with my chronic pain people is their gluten intolerances, their gluten sensitivity that they have no idea that exists because it has snuck up on them over the years. It is involved with obesity, it's involved with ongoing pain. We see this strong connection with gut disorder, but sadly, the sneaky thing that many of us are missing is that gluten may be the key piece to mental confusion, anxiety, depression, and Alzheimer's. There's a fantastic book written by Dr. Perlmutter, and the name of that book is Grain Brain. There's others as well, for instance, Wheat Belly. They're very much worth reading, particularly if you have someone in your family who's dealing with these particular issues around early forgetfulness. So when I'm speaking to my patients and I'm trying to discern, is gluten an issue we want to conquer here with you? The questions I ask and learn is, are you having ongoing pain? Is this just not getting better no matter what you try? Do you have discomfort in your gut? Although I will tell you, not everybody has to have discomfort in the gut to have gluten sensitivities because it affects all of the organs to a large degree. Are you having a hard time losing weight? Do you find that you are exposing yourself to more and more reactions to allergies that you never used to have in years gone by? Is there a certain amount of anxiety that's in the background, or some forgetfulness, or migraine headaches, or just proclivity for increased headaches? All of these things we're finding to be directly related to gluten many of the time. So what we're going to discuss over the next four sections is how gluten influences your gut as well as your brain, but more importantly, what you can do about it, which to me is the most important action and issue I want to be clear with during these webinars. So thank you, and we'll talk to you in a moment.